So the true value of this camera is that you can do both of video and photo at relatively high level.
I've been coming up hot for a minute. Everybody know the drop when I'm in it. I drop the top when I'm in it. Everybody know the drop when I'm in it. Yeah, I flow so yo. Everybody know you know when the click through to the send this box to be a selfie. I've been coming up hot for a minute.
How's good, people? Welcome back to another new episode of The Gears, and thank you for tuning in again. So I've been using Sony A7 III for almost 2 years. It's a great camera and mine is working still pretty good. But if it's broke, it's time to buy a new camera. And what would it be? I do both of video and photo equally, so what about A7 IV? I had a chance to have it temporarily and made a short film with it. So today, let's see how A7 IV does in photo and video. In this review, I'm gonna talk things based on my honest feedback of using it, not rely on numbers and technical stuff. So let's get started. Okay, so first, build quality and function. A lot of things was changed from A7 III, but my very first impression when I grabbed this camera for the first time was like, this is it. It got a little bit bigger than A7 III, and especially the grip was improved so much. The body got bigger, so it feels more secure, it feels just right. But I don't know, if you're a huge lover of a compact small camera, maybe A7 III is maybe better about this, the body size. And buttons design will also change a little bit. Like this recording button and C1 was switched, which I really like. And this used to be an exposure control dial, something like that. Well, I've never used that before, but in A7 IV, you can apply what you want, like ISO in here. And this new switch that it can change mode of photo, video, and S&Q, this is really useful. For example, you can use A mode, S mode in video and photo separately. Plus, simply, it's so much easier to, change mode. But personally, I've never used this S&Q mode, so I don't want it here. Basically, other buttons are same, but they're more deeper and comfortable to push. And the biggest change from A7 III is this flip screen. Definitely it's really useful when you vlog, shoot a low angle photo, video, and the screen itself got better, and plus this little gap is nice. But when you shoot like this, the center straight point is moved to the left, so to me, it feels a little bit weird, but I'm sure I'm gonna get used to it soon. And for A7 IV, you can use SD card and CF Express. So what you really should do when you use this camera is have the right card. At least you want to have more than a V30 SD card or CF Express if you do 4K or 40 to 10-bit, which means high quality, a lot of data, videos. If you want to know more detail, I'll paste the link in the description below. And the left side of the body, first, those covers will change, more solid. When you put the microphone, the screen doesn't touch it, and it has HDMI type A, which is a bigger one, which is really good when you use external monitor. So overall, I really felt a huge improvement from Sony A7 III. The body, grip, and screen, and the potential of customization. This camera fits in my hand very well, and it got more powerful and useful. So next thing I'm going to talk about is the video performance. First thing is the resolution and detail. This camera can do up to 4K, but this 4K looks more like sharper, like more detailed than A7 III 4K video. I researched about that, and Sony officially says when recording 4K up to 30 FPS full frame, 7K oversampling is possible. That means the size is 4K, but inside resolution is 7K, which means this 4K is more detailed than other normal 4K. So that's why I was so impressed by this 4K when I first watched the A7 IV 4K footage. Definitely it got more details than A7 III. And I think the dynamic range is really related to this resolution and detail. A7 IV has 15 plus dynamic range. I think A7 III was like 14 something. Absolutely, this difference is really huge. When I shot the video at the very high contrast scene with S-Log3, there were so many details left. If you do color grading correctly, I'm really sure you can feel this wide dynamic range. For me, who shoot outside a lot where I cannot, control the light situation, this 15 plus dynamic range is so strong. And The biggest point is photo to 10-bit. If you shoot very casually, like not color grading or not filming with S-Log3, this 10-bit is not that big deal. But when you color grade a 10-bit S-Log3 footage, you will be surprised by the wide range of colors. It's gonna make it possible a fine adjustment in a post-production. When you talk about just one color, there is tons of steps, like gradation. So especially when you deal with log wheels, which means the tool that you can adjust the color very precisely, and qualifier, which means the tool that you can select a specific color to edit. This 10-bit works so powerfully. I will be talking about many things later in this video, but at this point already, the biggest thing of A7IV is this photo to 10-bit and sharper, more detailed 4K. I think that's it. But if you don't shoot with S-Log3, just without a picture profile, without color grading, they look so great. Colors are depicted so well, very natural, wide range of colors. I felt the improvement of colors of A7IV. So if you really care about colors, A7IV is a lot better than A7III, and you will see the difference when you color grade it. But if you don't know how to color grade log correctly, here is the DaVinci Resolve color grading tutorial. So just go, learn something you need. Also, autofocus was improved so much. The speed itself is, I don't know, I feel a little bit faster, but not that huge. What I liked is a new function. So this real-time tracking system is so powerful. If you touch the object that you want to track, this camera recognizes it very precisely and it tracks it very well. It's so accurate and the response is so well. Not only this, when I was shooting in Tokyo to shoot this film, I used autofocus at 95% of the whole time. It didn't miss it, it caught exactly what I wanted. Of course, it was very fast and accurate and also so sticky. You know what I mean? I do solo filmmaking a lot, so this new autofocus system is so powerful to me. So the low light performance, it's definitely better than A7III. At ISO 16,000, the footage is clean enough to see, but it's not very smooth. We can see there are noises and it's kind of rough. But if you shoot in S-Log3, the color graded correctly and add some noise reduction, problem will be solved. But anyway, low light performance of A7IV has improved, and I think it's gonna be powerful when I shoot outside at the night. And there are many other good improvements, but I will choose only 3. First, you can start ISO from 200 in S-Log3. You know what? That's so huge. In A7III, you have to start ISO 800 when you use S-Log3, but that was really painful, when I shoot outside. But this A7IV can start ISO from 200, so this is really huge. It gives me more flexible exposure control. Second, it can do 60 FPS slow motion, but it's gonna be super 35mm, which means 1.5 times crop, but still, it's a great gift. Third, a strong image stabilization. I don't want to use a gimbal as much as possible. I cannot use it because of the location and situation I shoot most of the time. So this active mode of image stabilization is really powerful. So of course the video performance is also improved so much, especially if you want to do filmmaking seriously, not only photography. This has pretty much things you need. So this camera is not only for filmmaking. For photography, it's a great camera. This camera has 33 megapixel, which is considerably high resolution. This thing is huge to me. A7III is enough for Instagram and YouTube, but oh well. This should be a secret, but in the near future, I want to start selling my prints online, my photos, so you can have the photo works taken by lenses and cameras I talk in this gear review series. That way you can understand the true value of that gear, and plus you can enjoy the physical art. So stay tuned in for that. Anyway, when it comes to a big print, A7III is a little bit weak. So this 33 megapixel, I think that will help me a lot. Images are more detailed, really clean and sharper. That gives me more choices of focal length. Even though the video quality is very high, this is also a good photography camera. That's something I really want. And color is good too. Of course, when you shoot in RAW, you can get the maximum potential the image originally has. Many information in shadow and highlights can stay for you. This gives me the huge possibility of editing photos. When I was filming the short film, I was also taking photos. That was really good time. Even at the time, I could feel the juicy colors and really high resolution. Maybe it could be placebo, but anyway, that camera gave me the pleasure of photography. And also JPEG quality is amazing too. They are straight out from the camera, no editing at all. But already the image is completed, especially colors. They are so natural but also look so good. So even if you shoot only in JPEG, I think you can enjoy this camera so much. Okay, so this is it. I hope you enjoyed watching footages from A7 IV. Me? I did. And what I can say about this camera to people who cannot decide to get this camera or not is, if you do only photography, this camera is not enough. And if you do only filmmaking, also this camera is maybe not enough. When it comes to only photography, Alpha 7R4 or Alpha 1, Alpha 9, they're a lot better. And when it comes to only video, of course, A7S3 or FX3 is, a lot better. So the true value of this camera is that you can do both of video and photo at relatively high level. So what I feel about this camera is A7 IV is a little brother of Alpha 1. So this is exactly for hybrid shooters like me. So if you're not hybrid shooters and if you don't need a 33 megapixels and a 422 10-bit and DHL 4K, A7 III is still a great camera. So I think you don't have to rush into A7 IV, even if your A7 III is still working and you still love it. But let me just say one thing. At this point, where I am, my next camera will be A7 IV. It's just perfect for me. So what do you think about this camera, and what do you think about images taken by A7 IV? Just let me know in the comment below. Okay, today's topic is pretty much it, and thank you for watching this video. If you like this gear, show me a thumb and hit the subscribe, and I'll see you in the next episode. めちゃくちゃ久しぶりにさ、こういう感じの動画撮ったからなんか喉がカラカラ。そう、一個告知をしとくと、ちょっと一個新企画を始めようと思ってまして、ちょっとまだわかんないけど、4分。もう動画は4分。4分以内で、ちょっとこう撮影とか作品を作る時のなんかテクニックだったり、なんかそういうやつだったりを教えたりするかもしれないっていう話。じゃあ。